safer world is possible, and together we can and will make it happen. Thank you.
When you show up in community, you find that group that makes you feel like home, but oftentimes you also find yourself again.
The hosts of a neo-Nazi podcast who launched an attack on the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and their children. No, he's the king now, isn't he? Oh, I've spoilt it. Because it was the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, you see. It was Harry and Meghan who were under attack from a couple of neo-Nazis who, they attacked their son. They attacked Archie. 38-year-old and a 34-year-old both faced jail after being found guilty of encouraging acts of terrorism on Friday, following a trial at Kingston Crown Court. One of them described Archie as an abomination that should be put down in the podcast which the pair used to voice their hatred of mixed-race marriages. Now, it's received some coverage. I found some coverage on Sky News. I couldn't find much anywhere else. I just thought I'd mention it to you and leave you wondering why that might be. Why your favourite chroniclers of Harry and Meghan's lives have elected to leave this chapter out of their usually constant wall-to-wall coverage. It's a grim story. Harry, they said, should be prosecuted and judicially killed for treason. I don't normally mock the appearances of people, but I think when it's people who believe in a master race, you're allowed to. It's worth looking these characters up and wondering why people who believe in the master race always look like them. I won't go into too much detail except to say it's incredible, isn't it? If I looked in the mirror and saw that, I think I would refuse forever to believe in the possible existence of any master race anywhere in history. But these two characters looked in the mirror, saw what they saw, and decided that they were somehow superior. Biologically superior? I don't know, to Harry and Meghan's children. They also endorsed the murder of the assassination of the Labour MP Jo Cox in 2016. You remember that occurred shortly after Nigel Farage unveiled his poster with profound echoes of Nazi propaganda. Vile remarks about the Manchester Arena bombing, homophobic, racist, anti-Semitic, Islamophobic, misogynistic opinions, even encouraging their listeners to commit violence, uploading videos to all sorts. I mean, utterly grim conduct.
Hello and a warm welcome to Sussexful. I'm your host, Emma. Before we begin, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Sussexful for more thoughtful discussions about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and the ongoing media narratives that surround them. Today's video focuses on a powerful and timely reminder from broadcaster James O'Brien, who once said, "They don't really print stories about Harry, Meghan, and their children being attacked by Nazis. They prefer to print stories about how they're the wrong uns." That single line captures so much about how the media chooses which stories to tell, and perhaps more importantly, which ones to ignore. It highlights a disturbing pattern where the Sussexes are not treated as human beings facing real hate and harassment, but as characters in an endless tabloid drama. When Meghan and Harry are targeted by racists or extremist groups online, those stories rarely make the front page. Instead, headlines focus on petty narratives: how Meghan supposedly snubbed someone, or how Harry is complaining again. These are distractions, designed to shift attention away from the actual harm being done to them and toward a perception that they are somehow the problem. What James O'Brien is calling out is the hypocrisy and double standard that drives much of the coverage about the Sussexes. When other members of the royal family talk about mental health, privacy, or the pressures of public life, it's celebrated as brave and forward-thinking. But when Harry and Meghan open up about those same issues, they're accused of being self-absorbed, dramatic, or disloyal. The message is clear. They are not allowed to tell their truth without being punished for it, And that punishment comes in the form of relentless headlines, misleading stories, and the amplification of hate from corners of the internet that thrive on outrage and racism. Instead of protecting a young family from this kind of harassment, parts of the media seem to feed off it, turning pain into profit. It's particularly troubling when you think about the human cost. Behind the headlines and gossip are two parents raising children in a world that has already decided what to think about them. The media rarely acknowledges the emotional toll this takes. For Meghan, a biracial woman who married into one of the world's most scrutinized institutions, the criticism has often crossed the line into racism and misogyny. For Harry, it's a painful echo of what happened to his mother, Princess Diana. He's spoken about how history feels like it's repeating itself, about seeing the same toxic forces that contributed to Diana's death now directed at his wife. And yet, when he raises those concerns, he's mocked for it. That's what O'Brien means when he says the press would rather paint Harry and Meghan as the wrong uns than confront the ugliness of the abuse they face. The truth is, the British media has a long history of shaping public perception through selective storytelling. By deciding which stories to tell and how to frame them, they guide how the public sees these individuals. If they focused more on the threats, the racism, and the hate directed at the Sussexes, readers might develop empathy and understanding. But empathy doesn't sell papers. Outrage does. And so, the stories are twisted, the truth gets buried, and the same harmful cycle continues. James O'Brien's words are a reminder that we need to question the stories we're being fed. Who benefits when Meghan and Harry are vilified? Who gains when compassion is replaced with criticism? Media coverage isn't just about information, it's about influence. It can build people up or tear them down. In the case of Harry and Meghan, much of the press has chosen the latter, often ignoring the real dangers they face in favor of sensational headlines. As consumers of media, we have to do better. We need to look deeper, ask questions, and recognize bias when we see it. The way the Sussexes are portrayed is not just about them. It's a reflection of how society treats people who challenge the status quo, who refuse to stay silent in the face of injustice, and who dare to live life on their own terms. So as we think about James O'Brien's comment today, let it be a call to awareness. Let's remember that behind every cruel headline are real people with real feelings, doing their best to protect their family and live with dignity. It's easy to judge from afar, but much harder to face the truth about the systems that fuel this kind of treatment. The Sussexes' story is not just about royalty, it's about humanity, media ethics, and the power of narrative. And until those narratives start being told honestly, voices like James O'Brien's, and hopefully ours here at Sussexful, will keep reminding the world that fairness, empathy, and truth still matter. Media bias and the royal family. The media's treatment of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex has been the subject of much scrutiny and criticism. As James O'Brien aptly pointed out, the press seems to prioritize sensationalist and negative stories over more balanced coverage. They are quick to pounce on any perceived misstep or controversy, while glossing over the positive impact Meghan and Harry have made through their charitable work and advocacy. This selective reporting reflects a troubling bias, one that seeks to paint the royal couple in an unfairly harsh light, rather than objectively reporting the facts. In a world where the media wields significant influence, it is crucial that they uphold the principles of journalistic integrity and fairness, rather than catering to the public's appetite for salacious gossip. The British media has long been known for its sensational and, honestly, pretty biased coverage of the royal family, especially when it comes to Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and their children. Instead of focusing on the positive contributions and, the charitable work of the royals, the media seems to prefer reporting on controversies and perceived missteps, which just perpetuates this narrative of scandal and controversy. This one-sided approach not only lacks balance and objectivity, but it also fails to provide the public with a comprehensive understanding of the royal family's role and impact. The preference for negative stories over positive ones really reflects a concerning trend in the media, where the pursuit of attention-grabbing headlines often takes precedence over responsible and ethical journalism. While the public may expect balanced and responsible journalism, the reality is often, far from it. Instead of reporting on the genuine threats and challenges faced by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, such as those disturbing incidents of Nazi-inspired attacks, the media has chosen to perpetuate a narrative of the wrong uns. This biased and sensationalized coverage reflects a troubling trend of prioritizing scandalous stories over factual reporting, which only serves to further fuel the public's negative perceptions. As media commentator James O'Brien eloquently pointed out, this selective and manipulative approach to storytelling ultimately fails to provide the public with a complete and accurate understanding of the issues at hand. The media's insatiable appetite for salacious stories has had a devastating impact on the public's perception of the royal family, particularly when it comes to Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and their children. Rather than focusing on the positive contributions and, the philanthropic efforts of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, the media has chosen to perpetuate negative stereotypes and unfounded rumors. This lack of accountability and critical analysis has only served to further divide the public, with many quick to judge the royals based on the narrative that the media has carefully crafted. The relentless onslaught of criticism, often bordering on outright cruelty, has undoubtedly taken a toll on the mental health and well-being of the entire family, and it's a sobering reminder of the power the media wields and the responsibility they bear in shaping public discourse. The royals face, immense challenges in navigating their public lives, from the intense media scrutiny that follows their every move to the constant invasion of their personal privacy. As members of the British royal family, they are constantly under the microscope, with every action and decision scrutinized and dissected by the press and the public. This makes it incredibly difficult for them to control their own narrative, as the stories that are reported are often sensationalized or skewed to fit a particular agenda. The royals must walk a fine line, balancing the demands of their public role with the desire for privacy and autonomy. It's a delicate dance that requires incredible resilience and thick skin, as they are subjected to a level of scrutiny that, honestly, few can truly comprehend. The role of social media in shaping public discourse around high-profile figures like the Duke and Duchess of Sussex cannot be overstated. In the digital age, media narratives are rapidly amplified and disseminated, often eclipsing alternative perspectives that provide crucial nuance and balance. While traditional news outlets have long played a dominant role in framing public opinion, the rise of social media has empowered individuals to challenge and counteract these narratives, giving voice to alternative viewpoints that were previously marginalized. This increased public engagement has the potential to foster a more informed and balanced dialogue, but it also carries the risk of further entrenching existing biases and fueling divisive rhetoric. Navigating this complex landscape requires a concerted effort to promote critical thinking, empathy, and a willingness to consider diverse perspectives, even when they conflict with prevailing media portrayals. The public outcry against the relentless negativity and personal attacks directed at Meghan Markle has sparked a much-needed conversation about the state of modern journalism. Across the board, there are growing demands for media outlets to embrace a more ethical and responsible approach to reporting. Commentators are calling for an end to the sensationalism and biases that often color coverage of public figures, particularly women and minorities. Instead, the focus should shift towards balanced, fact-based reporting that avoids perpetuating harmful stereotypes and respects the humanity of those in the public eye. By promoting a culture of accountability and fairness, the media can play a crucial role in shaping a more compassionate and empathetic discourse, both online and in the real world. The intense scrutiny and unrelenting negativity directed at Meghan have had far-reaching consequences for the royal family as a whole. The strained relationship between the monarchy and the media has become increasingly evident, with the palace struggling to control the narrative and protect the couple from harmful speculation and personal attacks. This damage to the public image and reputation of the royal family raises serious questions about the long-term implications for the institution's future. As the world watches this saga unfold, it becomes clear that the actions and words of individuals like Albie can have a profound impact on the very foundations of the British monarchy, underscoring the need for more compassion and accountability in the digital age. In the face of the unrelenting criticism and negativity directed towards the royal family, particularly Meghan Markle, there is a pressing need to hold media outlets accountable. These outlets must be held responsible for the accuracy and fairness of their reporting, promoting transparency and journalistic integrity. It is vital that the rights and privacy of the royal family, especially the children, be protected from sensationalized and unsubstantiated attacks. The public deserves reporting that is grounded in facts, not fueled by personal agendas or biases. By demanding accountability from the media, we can ensure that the narratives surrounding the royal family are balanced, respectful, and truly representative of the complex realities they navigate.